Coming up on Rick Dancer TV, 7 million new residents were trucked into Lane County in just 2 days. They brought with them queens, they brought with them a lot of worker bees, and a few drones. We'll tell you more about Bee Weekend at GloryBee next on Rick Dancer TV. I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting. We're here with Regine Wilson at GloryBee, and I would guess that you would be called one of the queen bees of the organization.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us what Bee Weekend is all about.
Well, Bee Weekend is really just about people that are interested in keeping bees, hobbyists, local people that want to get bees. Sometimes people are wanting to get more bees, and sometimes their bees have died, and so they're, refreshing their hive. It's also an opportunity to show the community what's really going on with the bees. And so we have local vendors here, we have bee education, we have things for kids. We also have a VIP event where we've invited community members to hear what's going on with the honeybees.
Why are bees so important?
Well, our food really requires pollination, and honeybees are needed for that. 40% or more of our food supply and our healthy food comes from plants that require bee pollination.
I bet most people do not know that.
I don't think the average person does. It's things like coffee and nuts and fruits and vegetables.
So the more of us who are actually into the bee, the better off. We're really helping the environment and our food sources by raising bees.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting to see the community out here supporting us and learning, and it's really just about awareness.
The Aunt Patty's product embraces a philosophy of getting out of the box and trying something new, or taking the Pillsbury box and adding a new twist to that would add nutritional value.
Sometimes getting out of the box in the kitchen is not easy. We tend to follow recipes for fear of making a mistake and ruining a meal.
The standard isn't perfection, the standard is experience.
Okay, that's good.
And it can be messy in the kitchen. And life can be messy.
Whoa.
I did too much.
It's okay if it makes a little bit of a mess.
Aunt Patty is not afraid of messy, and she doesn't think you should be either. No matter how old you are, this is the place where it can begin.
And the outcome of messy can be a beautiful product. The kitchen has allowed me to know that life isn't perfect. And that's what I'd want to say to people, and that's what I want kids to know.
I can't get it. It will.
Well, why don't you try on the bigger one? You want to try on the bigger one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you can do this, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Trying is the key. Try that with one of them.
You guys,
I think the big thing about Aunt Patty's, not only myself, the person, but the product, is that life is an experience, and you don't get to have experience unless you experiment. This is more than a product line for me. This is really what my heart is. I have 3 words: people, product, and process. It's about people. I can be a good hostess and I can do those things well, but behind all that is a person that's just pretty down to earth, that likes to dig in the dirt. If you sit at my table, I want to stand behind what I present.
Perhaps Aunt Patty is onto something. Ingredients, relationships, people, and products really do matter. And to see these begin in the kitchen, that is just Aunt Patty.
One of our most loyal friends and clients of Rick Dancer TV since the very beginning is Ranchito Grill in Springfield. Abe over there is the greatest guy. He owns the place, and Ruben works there, and he's wonderful too. And they have the best food, the best Mexican food in town. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't say that, you know me, I don't say stuff like that if it's not true, and it is true. You've got to try it. Another good reason to try it though is when you go have dinner, you can fill out a little form, put your name and your phone number, stick it in the bucket under Rick Dancer TV, and every month we draw a name, and that person gets 2 free dinners. And this month it's Rick Haskell. I'll be giving you a phone call. And when you go in there, would you do me a favor? On lunchtime, they always have a $6.95 special. So go in, get the special, and tell Ruben or tell Abe that you saw it on Rick Dancer TV. They love that, and it helps us too.
My name is Matthew Rutman. I teach 3rd grade at the Village School, and I'm here with my class on a field trip to pick up a hive of bees to take back to our school. We've been doing a project since the fall. We've had an observation hive in our classroom where we've been learning about bees, studying them, going out into the community, educating our fellow students and also the neighbors about bees.
We're here to get bees from the truck right there, and we're gonna put them outside in our garden at our school.
It's real life science, and the kids get to actively engage in the science by being scientists and also being activists.
People spray pesticides, and some companies spray pesticides in their dirt without telling people.
Why are bees important?
Well, because they pollinate the food. They pollinate almost all of our food.
The folks at GloryBee are part of a team of 7 business leaders in the community working to raise the money to build a house for a family that needs it in just 1 hour. Here's how you can help.
There wasn't a discussion. It was basically, we're doing this.
Build a house in an hour? Really? What a great opportunity.
If we're going to do it, it's going to be as a community, it's going to be a community effort.
In talking to these 7 businesses, they were excited, saying, well, we'll raise half of it, and the rest of the group needs to raise the other half, and in an hour, we're going to change a life for a family.
So I put one to hold it on this side.
The 7 companies are here to stabilize this and grow it and help us ensure that we can go from just a fundraising effort to building homes.
That's our goal this year, is just in an hour, raise enough money to go ahead and just build a house for a family.
The idea to build a house in an hour is super exciting. And I've been to the breakfast before, and the idea that in one breakfast we could raise enough money to sponsor an entire house, that's pretty intriguing.
For me is that it reminds us that we're not just here working to make a living, but we're also here to share a community with people who live here with us.
You're breaking the cycle of poverty when you put a family into a home and give them opportunities that they would not be able to have otherwise.
Everything stopped. I mean, I thought I was going back to school. It only took about 30 minutes before they were pulling me in the room going, "We're pretty sure you have cancer."
We were able to get those medical bills under control. We started to look back into, our dream of becoming a homeowner and kind of realized that realistically it's a little bit out of our grasp. We've worked very hard to maintain our credit, and even after that huge blow of, him having cancer and all that, we've managed to bounce back. I feel like we've worked so hard and we don't get handouts, we don't get help in any way. Just the thoughts that Habitat chose us, this is huge. This is changing our life forever. We are so blessed.
Well, I think the concept of, basically raising the funds or building a house in an hour is really fun, to think that you're in a room and you're engaging this group and it's not so overwhelming.
I think this is great. I I love to see more and more and more of these done. We're happy to help and continuing to help these families that are looking for shelter, and it's right in alignment with what our company stands for.
Okay. What I like about Habitat is it provides housing for people and gives them the ability to break the cycle. If someone comes into the community, has a house and a place to live, their kids now have stability that they didn't have before.
It's all about giving people a hand up, not a handout, so they're able to actually pay it forward. The people we're going to build a house for are then going to pay it forward and help build another person's house, another family's house down the road, which is really exciting. It just is a perpetual cycle that goes on forever.
We plan on being a part of Habitat for the rest of our lives and instilling this in our children.
Because we work, we live, and we play here, and when we all pitch in and contribute something, we can make a much greater impact on the other lives of the people that we share this community with.
We laid the foundation, and now we need your help to build the house.
It will blow people's minds to realize that in 1 hour, the money can be there to build this house.
When it comes to our groundbreaking ceremony, I honestly don't know how to thank them besides walking up and giving them the biggest hug I can possibly give them. I mean, there's so many situations where weight's been taken off my shoulder, especially when you're cured of cancer. And you know you're gonna live longer, but this is like probably the biggest weight I've ever had taken off my shoulder, because this sets up my wife, my kids, my family. Whether cancer comes back or something comes to take me away, I know they're safe.
We want to slam this home. This is about you. This doesn't get done without the individuals who have supported Habitat for Humanity. It doesn't get done without you.
We're here with Richard Herskowitz from the Cinema Pacific Film Festival. It's coming up real soon.
Yeah, starts April 27th.
Richard, tell me about how this got started.
You know, we started about 6 years ago when a cinema studies program was in formation at the University of Oregon. And there was a feeling at the university that we provide a Bach Festival for the region, the Schnitzer Museum that shows the talents of the visual arts, faculty and students, and all the knowledge of the university makes it accessible to the community. And there should be a film festival that the university creates too that is of top quality.
So U.S. World in Reports, what do they say about this? This is, I hadn't heard this.
Yeah, well, you know, in the recent U.S. News and World Report ranking of the university, one of the things they mentioned is that one of the great values of coming to Eugene for a student or a faculty member is the high level of arts offerings that the university provides, including the Bach Festival and Cinema Pacific Film. We focus on films from Pacific bordering countries, including the Asia Pacific and the Pacific Americas, so mostly foreign language film, as well as films from the Pacific Northwest. There's an emphasis on Oregon filmmaking as well. We feel it's very important to expose people to international films because we find that really the great innovations in American filmmaking have come when people have been exposed, like Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese, exposed to Italian neorealism or Hong Kong action films. Cinema Pacific includes a program called the Adrenaline Film Project. That's a 72-hour film competition and workshop in which 3 professional filmmakers mentor 36 filmmakers, 12 teams of 3 filmmakers, and they pitch, they write, they shoot, they edit their film, and then they present the completed film on the opening day of the film festival. There are 1,500 Chinese students at the university. The great strength of the Schnitzer Museum collection is its Asian art collection. And I discovered that the teaching and appreciation of Asian cinema at the university is as highly developed. There are more faculty teaching this than I've seen at any university in the country. So that's what made me realize that this was something that we really need to promote and make accessible to the broader region.
All right, good. Hey, Richard, thanks so much for being with us, and we'll see you at the festival.
Okay, thank you, Rick.
We're here with Dr. Ramesh Sagili. He's with the OSU Bee Lab. So tell me, do this for me. What I want you to show me is, I didn't know how to keep a bee from stinging me.
Okay.
So the first thing you want to do when you see a bee is you want to swat at it.
Yeah, so swatting is the wrong thing that people do, because a bee has a different vision than ours. So we can see like so many people around you, but as a bee, if Rick is standing in front of me, the bee is only looking at a part of you. So they can detect motion better than as you standing as a person. So we always advise not to swat, because they'll be seeing you better because you are swatting. So the motion is very good detection for the bees. So they can detect motion better than you as a person. So I would advise.
You're attracting them more.
Yeah, you're attracting. So I would say just duck around and just run away from there a little bit, and then you'll be fine. So.
All right. Hey, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to What's Happening Downtown with our host, Rick Levine from the Eugene Weekly. Thanks for being with us.
Sure,
today.
absolutely. My
Man,
pleasure.
April is just loaded.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even talking about Doug Benson yet.
No, we'll get to Doug Benson. Yeah.
So we have a play, How Lovely to Be a Woman.
Yes, it's Siri Vick and Shirley Andrews, two local performers, and they'll be singing a series of songs about the ups and downs about being a woman.
Bill Maher coming to town.
Bill Maher, political satirist with his own HBO show. He'll be at the Holt. That's exciting.
Doug Benson.
Doug Benson, America's foremost leading stoner comedian at Wow Hall, performing his annual 421 show.
And we got something for everybody. You got a little hip hop.
Hip hop, we've got Sam Adams coming to Wow Hall. He's out of Boston.
And what would life in Eugene be without Engelbert Humperdinck?
Engelbert. Engelbert Humperdinck wrote an opera based on the Brothers Grimm called Hansel and Gretel, and that'll also be at the Holt.
So that's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Downtown.
Downtown.
We're here with Alan Taransky, you're the head beekeeper, you're one of the owners of GloryBee Foods. He's all over the place. We met the queen bee, now we've got you.
That's right, that's
Brother
right.
and sister, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Bee Weekend, what is this?
Yeah, Bee Weekend is something that we've been doing for 41 years. My dad started it in year one, which was distributing packages of bees, to people who want to start their own hives. But we've always integrated education into what we do. My dad started out the business by teaching beekeeping classes. And so Bee Weekend today is bigger than it was, 41 years ago, but it's rooted in the same thing, which is, hey, we want to sell people bees, but really what we want to do is teach them about beekeeping, arm them with information and education. And hey, now, even if you're not a beekeeper, come learn about how important bees are and how they impact your health and well-being by pollinating fruits, nuts, and vegetables and putting food on your table. Our role is gone beyond just selling beekeeping supplies and beyond just selling honey or selling other natural foods. We want to be part of an education movement and an awareness movement where people really understand how amazing it is to have that vegetable on your plate and everything that goes into it, whether it be you keeping bees yourself or the farmer that grew that tomato or grew that apple, grew that peach, whatever it is. And so we think that's super important to know where your food comes from and to know everything that goes into it, because we've really just become desensitized. Lettuce comes from the ground and carrots do have dirt on them, and that's where they come from. And they're telling stories about kids that don't understand that. The food comes out of a bag, and that's a problem. When we're disconnected from other people that do great things, all of our beekeeping sales, all of our retail honey, 1% to save the bee. But quickly it expanded into, we can't do this alone. And so we've launched into, hey, that's great that we've got a 1%, but what about our partner over here? And what about our partner over here? And what about somebody that's not even a partner but may want to be involved in the campaign? And so the push right now is to get a community of companies and people involved in funding the campaign and spreading the awareness, because so many consumers don't know. They don't know or they're aware there's an issue, but they don't know how to do anything about it, and they don't know really what the issues are. So again, much like GloryBee, it's all about education.
So this is my grandmother's cookbook on pie recipes, and in the cover here I have her secret recipe for pie crust, which makes it just so flaky and so tender and just excellent. However, sometimes you don't have enough time to do it step by step by step, so I'm going to get a little bit of help from Krusty's. I will share with you her secret formula. So it will be 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. The secret ingredient is Aunt Patty's apple cider vinegar. 2 tablespoons of that. What the vinegar does is it helps the pie crust be more flaky. So then we'll add this to the dry ingredients. What you want for this pie crust is for it not to be too dry. So it would be better to err on the side of having it a little moist, and then you add in flour when you roll it out. But you don't have to do everything from scratch. You can just improve something that kind of can help you along the way. And you don't really taste the vinegar when the crust is finished. And just remember that if you get a little hole in the pie crust, just press it together and patch it and it'll all be fine. So this is an example of the pie crust. What I have done is I prepared a pie, an apple pie. So let's see how this thing turned out. You can see the crust is really pretty flaky. It's really good. Really, it is good. It's really, really good. Wouldn't that be good with ice cream on it? Super good.
Remember back in the day when the milkman used to deliver milk? Well, I'm the coffee man and I want to deliver coffee. I'm going to deliver Sleepy Monk coffee to you. I'm bringing Sleepy Monk coffee to Eugene. We've been roasting coffee up in Cannon Beach, Oregon for the past 26 years. It's fair trade, Arabica, organic coffee. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring things full circle. I want to deliver coffee just like that milkman used to deliver milk to you. I want to deliver coffee to you. So if you call this number, I can deliver it to your work, I can deliver it to your home, I can deliver it to wherever you would like it to be delivered. I would love for you to take the chance and try this coffee.
You already deliver my coffee to me. I mean, what do you mean? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to them. I know I deliver to you, but I'm wanting them to know I'll deliver to them.
Oh, you want to deliver to them. Okay, well, call the number on your screen. Now, where's my coffee?
Oh yeah, here. Dang it. There you go. Got it.
I understand all of us are not going to be beekeepers, but there is something that all of us can do to help save the bee. Number one is a beautiful idea. Plant lots and lots of flowers in your yard. Second thing is stop using so many pesticides. You know, what I love about the honeybee is a worker. In fact, they're hard workers and they work themselves to death. The other thing about honeybees is they do everything for the good of the hive. There's no self-interest involved. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a community like that? I'm just saying.
My name is Gabrielle Hemsath. I'm from Northeast Iowa, Claremont, Iowa, and I'm the American Honey Queen. My job as the American Honey Queen is to travel the country and teach people about honeybees, honey, and why honeybees are so important to our food industry. And that's because honeybees are the connection from plants to your plate. Through pollination, they contribute 1/3 of food in the United States. I think that people are becoming a lot more aware of the impact of honeybees because they've been in the news so much, but previous years, honeybees were very taken for granted. Nobody really understood why we needed them. They were just kind of around. But as soon as we started losing them, people realized we needed to fight to save them.
My father-in-law wanted to get back into bees. He had raised them back in Kansas, and he was living with us, and so he was going to be the one to tell me how to do it. He bought the bees for us. But a month ago he passed away, so now I know nothing. And fortunately they had this class today, otherwise I'd been a world of hurt.
So I still get people walking up to me going, Rick, what are you doing now? What we do is promotion. We do media services, so we produce videos for YouTube, for internet use, for website use. We also produce videos for nonprofits, and we can help you find people to help pay for that. So we do a whole myriad of services and a lot of social media. So get in touch with us. Go to rickdancer.com or email me at rick@rickdancer.com. Heck, I'll even throw my phone number up here, but you better be calling me for business. Give me a call, let's figure out what you need, and we'll help you get there. That's really all it is. It's so easy.
We begin the hike at Cool Creek Trailhead, which is right off of Highway 26. Now this is straight up. This is 3.5 miles up to the top, and it is grueling. On the website it says family friendly? No, and they mean it. About a mile up we run into, yes, snow. We weren't prepared and we lost the trail. Fortunately my son knows how to read signs.
So we ended up like a mile from the lookout tower, and that windstorm a few months ago blew all these trees down in the path. So I'm staying here and they're up there because I can see where the trail is, and they're up there trying to see if we can get up there and find it. But we don't want to end up being that family that gets lost in the woods and the helicopters and all the news people come. That'd be really bad, really bad. Plus there's quite a bit of snow up here.
We actually lost the trail twice that day, but we were very careful and traced everything and everywhere we were going, and we made it all the way to the top. Now, you get up there to the top and you start to begin to see Mount Hood to the left, and then you come out of the clearing and this is what you see, a historic lookout. Now you can stay in this, but it's first come, first serve, and a lot of people use it and leave behind memories and notes and information. It's really cool. You walk inside and there's a place you can put your sleeping bag. People leave dry goods up there. Devil's Peak Lookout is 5,045 feet up in the air. The lookout is filled with all kinds of supplies. Dry supplies, matches, kerosene for lamps. There's even binoculars, a little candle. There's also this cool diary where people write different notes in there. And then we found this one kind of sketchy note with someone who left behind a little bit of reefer for the next person. We didn't see it. This is the view from the deck outside the lookout tower. Mount Hood right behind that cloud. If only she would have lifted. We kept waiting. Got out and had some lunch from Raptitude, which is down in Welch's, a little kombucha. And my son couldn't leave without taking some beer. At the end, we all stood up and took the pictures that we had to have, and when we got home, nothing like a cup of coffee sitting in the hot tub after a big adventure.